Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of The Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. Okay, so today I want to explain why you should not contact your ex. This is especially the case if she has dumped you. Okay, so I'm going to explain why you should not contact your ex, and more importantly, today I'm going to explain how you can do that successfully. Okay, basically what we want to do here is we want to break attachment patterns. And if you keep contacting your ex after she dumps you, you're never going to escape that hell of attachment and unrequited love. So the way that we break these attachment patterns is we do something that I call the 30-day no contact challenge, okay? And the reason I argue for 30 days is, like I said, we want to break these attachment patterns. And I'll be honest with you, if you're in love with someone and they dump you, the attachment patterns are going to last more than 30 days. So you might be asking, well, why do we only establish a 30-day no contact challenge? Because we need to break it down into manageable portions, okay? So when someone dumps you and you love them, what really, really haunts you, and this has happened to me, is that this person is always out of your life. You will never see them. You will never be with them again. And that is soul crushing. Like I said, I understand. This has happened to me, okay? And what the 30-day no contact challenge does is it gives you a foothold. It gives you a tool. So if I were to say, you're never going to contact this person again, you might be overwhelmed. But if I say, let's make an agreement to not contact them for 30 days, now you might say, okay, I'll do that. I won't contact her for 30 days. After 30 days, I can text her, I can go on her social media. But for 30 days, I will not call her, I will not text her, I will not look at her social media. And then from there, we take it one day at a time. And if you guys would like, if you want some help with this, please post in my comment section about your process. So please post something like, hey, she dumped me 5 days ago. I'm on 5 days of the no challenge. And I will give you, and hopefully others will give you, the emotional support that you need to make it through this period, okay? Here is something you guys have to understand when a woman dumps you. When she dumps you, it's permanent. You are not going to get her back. You must understand that, okay? The way women dump men is, I like to talk about something called interest level, which is a way of measuring the degree to which a woman is in love with you. When a woman's interest level is 95%, she's madly in love with you. She will rob banks for you, okay? This is why one of the fundamental principles of my program is that her interest must always be a little bit higher than yours, okay? So what happens is women's interest level drop incrementally. A lot of time guys don't recognize this, but they'll go down 5%. They'll go from 95, 90, 85, 80. And over time, it will finally drop below 50%. And that's when women dump men. That's when women divorce men. Okay? So this is a process that's been happening over a period of time. And that's why so many of my videos are about how to stop this process before it happens, how to keep a woman in love with you. But unfortunately, by the time she dumps you, it's too late, okay? So you've got two things going on. A woman has fallen out of love, and she will never love you again, guys. You got to understand that. So one, she's fallen out of love, and two, a concept known as hypergamy. Women are always looking for the bigger, better deal. So when a woman dumps you, 9 out of 10 times, I guarantee you, she's got another guy. She's been seeing another guy, okay? There's that analogy that women are like monkeys. I don't mean to be derogatory, but it's true. They don't let go of one branch till they're hold of another branch, okay? So when a woman dumps you, a couple things have happened. her interest level has dropped below 50%, and she's probably seeing another guy. I'll give you an example from my own life of that. Okay, that means, guys, you're not gonna get her back. If you look on the internet about the 30-day challenge, a lot of relationship coaches, and they're bullshitting you, excuse my language, will tell you that if you ignore her for 30 days, she's gonna come back. Okay, guys, it's still gonna fail. Usually the reason a woman comes back is she left you for another guy, and then that relationship has not worked out. So because that relationship failed, she's looking for emotional support. She's looking, especially if he dumped her, she's looking to have herself validated. So she goes back to you knowing that you will validate that. But guys, she's just going to dump you again. It never works. You cannot take her back. Okay, so that's why we do the no challenge. We don't contact her whatsoever. We're not trying to get her back. We're trying to break these attachment patterns. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, you're not going to break them in 30 days. But after 30 days, you're going to be significantly better. You're going to be significantly stronger. And then what you can do is you can take on another 30-day challenge. I've seen, if you go on some of the relationship forums, some of them will call it the 60-day challenge. Okay, that's because generally it's going to take at least 3 months when you love a woman before you really start to get over her. Okay, all right. So she'll dump you again. And so you don't want to take her back. And the purpose of the 30-day challenge is not to get her back. It's to buy you time to get emotionally stronger. Okay. So what do we do during these 30 days? We don't look at pictures of her, right? Throw all the pictures away, delete her number. We do not text her. We do not go on social media and look at her. All right. Also, we do not, one time when I got dumped, a girl dumped me. This was right after my marriage, my first relationship after my marriage. I made every mistake possible in relationships. I used to drive by her house. Don't do stuff like that, guys. It will only keep you locked into that cycle of attachment and despair. Okay, so we do the 30-day challenge to try and buy us some time. Okay. Now, what do we do during that time? Okay, a lot of people will say, oh, you need to take that time to heal. No, guys, don't do that. That is bad advice. Start dating, okay? That's why I argue you need to start opening a woman every day. We talk to a woman every day. We develop a 3-woman rotation. Let me give you some personal examples out of my own life how this happened, okay? The last time I got dumped, I was in the process of developing my system, but it was only about 70% developed, okay? So I was in this relationship with this gorgeous gal. She was gorgeous, right? She was a PhD student. She had a body that wouldn't quit. The sex was great. She was 11 years younger than me. She just was perfect for me in every way. And she dumped me, okay? I made mistakes. I would see her every Saturday, right? So immediately she knew I wasn't seeing other women. I would call her and talk to her every night. I would be on these endlessly long phone conversations, right? So I was making many, many mistakes. And the biggest mistake I made is I was not a gentleman, okay? I argue in my system, we are always gentlemen with women. I'm not going to get into details, but I did some things that were very ungentlemanly. So I made a lot of mistakes with her, and she probably wasn't a good marriage candidate anyway. Her big thing is she liked to go out to the clubs and try and find other women for a 3-way. I kind of did recognize that as a red flag. But even had I not made mistakes, she ended up, I know today that she's unmarried and she had a kid. Well, what happened with her? She dumped me. Of course, she was seeing another guy. This guy was a big-time judge. And so she married this guy and had a child with him. But fortunately, I immediately started dating. And then at that point, I perfected my system. So I started dating, so I wasn't alone all the time. And I wasn't thinking about her. I wasn't so obsessed with her. Having other women in my life enabled me to break that attachment pattern and not be so obsessed. So if you get dumped, guys, get right back in the market, get back on the horse, get back on the bicycle. And again, I have other videos on how we, open 30 women a day, how we get 5-6 phone numbers a month, how we get 2-3 dates them out, how we build a dating rotation. It was after that point that I finally did that. And as a result, I met the woman a little bit more than a year and a half later. I met the woman that is today my wife. And here's something crazy. This girl that dumped me 2 years later called me. And at this point, I'd met my wife and we had fallen in love. She called me and wanted to get back together. And she was going on and on about, oh, I made a mistake. She married this guy. They had a kid. And now she was a single mom. And of course, she realized that as a single mom, her ability to attract men like me was compromised. So she called me back and wanted to get together. My wife actually eventually intercepted that call, and they were going back and forth, bitch, bitch, bitch. It was quite an interesting argument. But that's why women, that's an example of why a woman will come back to you after she dumps you, because that relationship did not work out. And this, she wanted to get back to me, but the reality was that she didn't love me, and she, probably would have dumped me again. Our relationship would not have worked out. And now I've been happily married to my wife for nearly 20 years. All right, guys. So again, let's go back to this fundamental concept. If a woman dumps you, if a relationship ends, it ends for a reason. So you want to make a contract with yourself, an agreement not to contact her for 30 days, right? So delete her number. Do not go on her social media profiles. Get rid of her pictures. Get every indication of her out of your life. Don't go to the same places you used to go. And eventually you will start to get better. Date other women. At the end of 30 days, if you need to, renew that contract. But the most important thing you can do is not to have contact with her. All right, guys. So if you like what you saw, if you like what you heard today, please hit that like and subscribe button. If any of you are struggling, if you just got dumped and you want some help with this 30-day no contact challenge, please post down below and I'll do everything I can to help you.